Hey, you guys, Sonia Tompkins here from brickandmortarmaven.com. And today, let's talk about how much money it actually costs you to stock your boutique. I get asked this so much, whether it's online, through emails, blog posts, you name it. People always want to know how much it's going to cost them to stock their boutique business. And you guys, I'm happy to report and to share with you guys today that the answer is going to really make you feel very, very good. And that's because the answer is it's going to cost you as much as you can afford, right? Yeah, like surprisingly. Most people come into boutique ownership and think that they have to meet a certain amount, a certain number, whether it's the size of their store, how many products they're going to sell on their online store, and ultimately how much money they need to stock their store or to make it look like a real boutique or make it a real boutique. And you guys, if you are licensed and registered as a business wherever you are located, you are a real business. Now it's up to you to determine how much you're going to stock and how big you want your business to be. One of the things that I'm really big on is encouraging my clients to start their boutiques, start their businesses, just get open and then grow. You can always start small and then you can grow into the ultimate version of the boutique that you want. So the short answer is it can cost as much as you can afford. Now, how do you go about determining what you can afford and how much it's going to cost you to fully stock your boutique? So there are a lot of variables for that, and I'll go through a few of them in this video. So one of the things, the very first thing you need to do is decide based on your budget. And I always like to start with the budget first. A lot of my clients come to me and they're like, well, how much should I have for this? How much should I have for merchandise? How much should I have for, my pop-up? How much should I have, before I start looking for a business, a building for my business? And you guys, it's really the other way around. It's really, you need to know what your overall budget is first, and then that will help you understand and develop the strategy for how you'll start your boutique. Okay. So there are clients of mine who have started with budgets as small as $800. Like, Sonia, I have $800. I got $1,000 to put towards this business right now. What's the best way that I should utilize that $800, right? And believe it or not, you can start a boutique with $800, okay? It really just depends on what your niche is, how you want to go about starting your boutique. Is it going to be online? Is it going to be through pop-up shops? Is it going to be a brick and mortar? And you get to determine all of that, but it's always easier if you know what your budget is. And I've also had clients who have, they come to me and they're apprehensive because they're like, well, really, Sonia, I only have like 20,000, and it's amazing that some people think that $20,000 is not a budget that's going to be sufficient enough to start the boutique that they want. So again, the ultimate answer is it's what you can afford. So once you know your budget, your particular budget for your overall project, at least to get it started, okay? And that's the main thing I want you guys to take away from this video, is to create a budget for you to get started. As you make sales, as time goes on, your business will be profitable. It should actually be profitable from day one. You guys, I have some other videos and things about how to be profitable, but you can forget that whole thing where it takes you 5 years, that standard where you've heard maybe where it takes you 5 years to have a profitable business. I think that's true in some cases and for a lot of different types of business industries, but for the boutique industry, that it does not have to take 5 years at all. You literally can be profitable within your first 60 to 90 days. Again, it's really about how you set yourself up to be profitable from almost day one, right? So you're going to create you're going to identify what your budget is, because we're not going to create a budget because it is what it is. If you've only got, $2,500 or you've only got $15,000, or if you have whatever amount that is, that's how much you have to get your business started. So from there, if you're working with a smaller budget, let's say if you're working with a budget of $2,000 or less, then my recommendation generally is to start your business through doing pop-ups and having an online presence. Now, notice I said an online presence and not specifically an online boutique or online only boutique. And because the reason I didn't say that and I don't recommend that is because there's a lot of expense that goes into running a profitable from almost day one online boutique that a lot of people are unaware of. So there are a lot of like hidden costs that go into that, specifically when it pertains to your marketing, to get people to know about your online boutique and to cross that threshold to buy from you sight unseen, and not have any type of know, like, and trust factor with you. So for that reason, I don't particularly say if you have a very small budget. So to me, a small budget would be a budget of $2,000 or less. I would suggest starting with pop-ups and having an online presence where you can sell. So that might mean you have some of your products online, but that is not the majority or the main source of how you're going to start your boutique business. Pop-ups are definitely my favorite for any type of boutique business. Even if you have a large budget, but you just want to kind of test your waters, you want to make sure that this is something that you want to do for the long term without committing long term with leases, or spending several $1,000s for a great website and online marketing to get people to your website, which you'd have to do with a strictly online boutique. Okay. Now, if you have a budget of, say, $3,000 to $10,000, then online boutiques, certainly pop-ups are still going to be good for that type of budget as well. And you can go that route. If your main goal and where you want to ultimately end up, or if you want to just start right now from the very beginning with a brick and mortar, then I'm going to say for a standalone brick and mortar type of business, you definitely want to start with a budget of at least $10,000. And that is including your potential rent, first, last month, whatever your negotiations are, and then also things like inventory that you'll need with any boutique. So that's kind of how I would break that down. But again, you guys, it really depends on what you want to do. Now, how much you spend on merchandise, once you know what your overall cost is, let's say if your overall budget is $2,000, then to be conservative, I would suggest and say that you want to spend somewhere between $1,000 to $1,200 on your merchandise, and then you would leave the other $1,000 or $800, let's just say $800 to $1,000 to things like supplies, equipment, systems and softwares, or things that you might need for this pop-up. Because in that scenario, if you've got a budget of $2,000, then we're talking pop-ups, in my opinion. So it's a great way to do that. So once you know your overall budget, you usually want to take about half or a third of that at most. But really conservatively, I like to say half, and that's what you're going to use to actually stock your boutique, you guys. Don't be afraid or don't feel some kind of way if you've got a very, very small budget. Again, I've worked with clients who have said, like, I have $1,000, I have $800 to spend on merchandise. And you guys, you'll be amazed at what you can get wholesale with $800 for things like accessories, or if you know how to use that small budget in the most effective way by shopping wholesale directly, and cutting out the middleman. I have videos on that too. But those are some guidelines to kind of help you determine, there's not a set number. So again, wherever you are right now, when it's time to get started, you can determine how much your budget should be for buying your wholesale merchandise by taking your overall budget and splitting that in half, and saying, okay, this is how much that I'm going to be able to use. Whatever that number is, that's what you have to start with. And I encourage my clients, and I encourage you, and it's something that I did even after my first boutique, my second boutique, when I got to a point where I had a larger budget, I still knew and always recommend that you start small with any new location or new boutique business, and then grow big. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to leave some links for some more helpful information on how to discover your budget or how to create that in the notes below. So take a look at that. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.